Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been showing that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a Buddies Network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jennifer.
Hi, Regina. It's so good to see you again.
Good to see you as well. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Pursuing Profit with Principles. Boy, but it was a great weekend. Looking forward to this exciting Thanksgiving week here in the States. And I am delighted to have with me a guest today and to hear all about the amazing work that she is doing. So my guest today is Jennifer Bond, and she is CEO of Deluxe Networking Partners. She is the president and CEO there. And, you know, this is a grassroots campaign that she's doing to build communities, to build the success in communities of the local businesses there, and to make a partnership almost between local consumers and local businesses. So I'm really excited to have her share a bit today about her journey and what is it that motivates her to do this? Why is she doing what she's doing, and what is she doing? So again, welcome, Jennifer. Glad to have you here today.
I am so grateful to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Awesome. Would you take a few moments and tell us a little bit about your journey, if you will? A little bit about your history, because we want to hear a lot about what you're doing, but a little bit about your history and why you're doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Regina, for having me on. I would love to tell you guys a little bit about myself. So I was going to school and got my master's degree in occupational therapy. I've always been a huge proponent of the healthcare field and being able to help other people. My husband, who is a dentist, we helped him start out his practice. Some people aren't as business minded as some of us are. And so I helped him be able to start that from there, helped him grow, became a consultant, and was able to teach and educate people on how to open their businesses and their practices throughout the United States, at schools and universities, did a lot of things like that. And then as I grew in this process, we started this network to be able to help businesses expand, to be able to market them, be able to do all of those wonderful things. But we all know what happened with COVID, and we all know the effects that it had upon us. And we realized, you know what, we have all the tools to be able to, we had established a network for people who were in healthcare and different things like that, people who did not have access to those dentists and people or chiropractors or all those different things, that they would be able to have their own in-house programs. And we had this pool of clients, and we're like, you know, we've been able to have this successful pattern for people to be able to access our businesses. And so from that, when COVID hit, we thought, you know, we can develop a whole network together. We have a pattern to be able to develop a community behind our businesses. And we knew that that's what we were missing when we all became so distant from each other. And we've even expanded that from there because we've realized that there are so many people who want to support local. We just don't know how. And so in that motive and in that movement, now that we've started a huge social media campaign where all of us can volunteer just a few minutes a month and help posting about our local businesses. We can become members for free in this organization so that we can learn about our local businesses. And our businesses are there to support us, and we can actually be there to support them. And we believe in this movement that as a people, when we come together, amazing special things happen. And we also believe that as a people, when we join together, we can bring back our economy. We can do those amazing things together as a people when we join together. So yeah, this is a movement, a grassroots movement where all of us are joining together, and we believe to make something amazingly special happen as we are expanding throughout this whole nation quickly. So we're so excited. And thank you for letting me share that information with you this morning, Regina.
Awesome. And we're going to dive into that and kind of take that apart a little bit and understand a whole lot more about what you're doing. So, yeah, where to begin? It's just so.
I know, it's kind of encompassing a lot of things that we're doing.
It's such a huge vision.
It
right?
is, and nobody's really quite the most amazing things. We've actually been to work. We've worked with people on the government level. We've also worked with people in private insurances, and we worked in Washington, D.C. to be able to have some of these models work successfully and do those things. So we have this network that we've been able to establish with businesses and being able for them to be able to have that go forward. But then we've added other things. Like you said, this is so encompassing because we've realized that not only do we need to have a basic network, just like insurance or other things where consumers can access those things, but we need to become a community. So in that, not only do that, we need to build these relationships. We need to start getting to know each other, know our businesses, because our pattern's not changing anymore. We're not changing. All of us are still sometimes going online to shop, but we're not changing the pattern to be able to increase our local incomes. So therefore, we've done things to have people be able to change those behaviors. And some of those things we've done is we do live networking events, where we can come together and start getting to know each other on social media and in person. And so we can get to know our businesses that way. So we have networking events that are a part of this. We also have, like I said, the social media where all the consumers, we encourage everybody to be a part of this, where they can post about local. All of us are on social media. At least 90% of us are. And we can do something good on social media. We can start posting.
Absolutely.
And get to know each other.
I think that's one of the things that makes your program a standout from any other networking program that I've ever been involved in, is that most networking programs are about the businesses getting together and understanding who they are and maybe working together and that kind of a thing. But you include the consumer in your program.
Absolutely.
And that I've never seen before.
Yeah. And we knew that had to happen because there are amazing, wonderful, great networking groups out there that we love and appreciate, and they've done so much. And we are a huge proponent of all businesses, and I think there couldn't be more that we couldn't do to get to know each other. But one of the huge things that we have seen when we're trying to develop a community or a network and doing those things is that from business owner to business owner, it's amazing and wonderful, but we leave out the consumer. We advertise to them, and we'll put out little ads and try to reach them and do those things. But the consumer at this point knows that they need to get involved in this process because we're not losing, but we've lost way too many small businesses. And the economy isn't coming back like it should be. The economy's slagging, inflation's slagging, and there's things we can do as a people. We can join this movement. We can start supporting each other. We can get to know our local businesses and make a difference. And all of us can come together and do that just by posting and starting to learn and get to know. We have an amazing online platform where all the businesses are listed. So even if it's not businesses you're posting, and wherever you're going throughout this nation, you can find local businesses. You guys can refer local businesses. We can come together and we can be part of that solution where the community, the consumer, the businesses, all of us come together. And at our networking events, like you said, they're a little bit different because we not only have businesses networking, but we have community members that join. Let us know about things going on in the community. We're not just one-sided. We're a whole community that we can support. There's great things. There's blood drives. There's things going on that we can come together for once and learn about each other and support each other.
It reminds me of years ago when, in small towns that, there was that sense of community and everybody kind of knew what was going on and they all came together for events and things. I know in a town nearby here, they had their Christmas parade this weekend, or a holiday parade, they called it.
Mm-hmm.
But Santa was there. Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus were there.
That's very important.
And so that's why I call it a Christmas parade. But so we do those kinds of things still, but it's still not that creating that network of community where you oh boy, my brain's going in a bunch of different ways. Those who know me will appreciate that.
There's so much we can do when we come together. There's miracles that can happen.
Yes. I mean, even if you just take that word community and all the derivatives of that word and think about how that can play out in a community, and that communing with one another, that being part of each other's lives in some way, and sharing the good things that we know about a particular business and really helping to drive local business. Yeah, it's an exciting program that you've built. Now, you've been working on this a while, right?
Yeah, we have. We actually started almost a decade ago.
Right.
So the Lux Network program, like I said, we started out in the healthcare field, and it actually took us about 5 years just to jump through all the red tape with licensures in healthcare and all of the things that go on with that. That's a long process. There's a lot of legalities and little things that you have to do. And honestly, every state in the union has its own laws. And so where we're throughout this United States, it's not like you can do one blanket thing. And so we've had to work to get throughout the United States to be able to bring what we can to all the people. And we feel in that process that we've had that we were brought together. We think there's a purpose and things behind everything, and things happen for a reason and a purpose. And we feel like we've been prepared for this moment for some time because it's taken us forever to get to where we can be at this spot. And it would take somebody so long to be able to get to that spot. And we still feel so blessed because we know this is what our world needs. We've been divided too long. We've been isolated too long. And we believe when good people come together, and like you said, in the olden days, we used to do that. And one of the things that we also have a huge opportunity in front of us is the fact that, I don't know about you, but I worry sometimes about, because of things that have happened, of shipments coming in anymore and the shelves at the stores being stocked and all of those things happening. But we believe, you know what, we all have a community, and most of all of those things are available in our very own communities. And if we have a local network and local businesses that we support, then like in the olden days, they were self-sufficient. And when your community and your economy is doing okay, then you're probably going to be okay when the storms come ahead. And so that's one of our huge things that we're doing right now, is to develop 100 businesses in 100 communities this year before the new year, to get those communities self-sufficient. We know the holidays and people are busy, but we don't know of a greater gift we can give each other right now than self-sufficiency. And the fact that we can build this network together as a people.
Yeah, I love that ambitious goal of 100 communities, that you're building this out in 100 communities between now and the first of the new year. Very exciting. Um,
There's so much that we're doing that is really exciting and super fun.
yeah.
But the greatest thing about it is that we have seen people coming together like I've never seen it before. It's been so amazing. And the response has been crazy. I don't know. I mean, I've been in business forever. I've been doing things in consultant and advertising and all those things. And usually in advertising or when you do some of these things, you're usually good to, they say, 3 to 5% is an amazing recovery on an ad or different things like that. Those
Right.
are amazing numbers. Our numbers when we're reaching out and talking to people and putting this information out, our numbers are like 70-80% of people we talk to are engaging in this. And it's like,
Yeah.
what the heck is happening? But it's because the people understand right now. They
Yes.
get what's going on and they need a platform to be able to do what we know we need to do as a people. And it's amazing how we all are coming together. We are making this happen. It's wonderful. We're excited. We encourage everybody to join us again for free. We can make our communities come back together. And the response is just blowing me away.
There's two things. Yeah, it is tremendous. I agree. Two things I want you to touch on. One is, if I remember correctly, you told me that a lot of the work on this platform was donated, and that this is a $1 million platform. I'd like you to talk about that a little bit, and then I'd also like you to talk about the consumer's role in this, how they play a part.
Yeah.
In addition to shopping, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Shopping and posting on social media, that's usually what we want them to do. We not only want them to support each other in this movement, because I just have to really touch on the fact that our average person who comes on board and they save over $300 a month. We don't realize the value in shopping local. It's not just, going online, but when you're local, you don't have to worry about cost of shipments. You don't have to worry those things. And if you go access to your local healthcare providers, they have amazing programs that often aren't covered by insurance that you can get access to. There's just wonderful things when we come together. So the value is there for the consumer, not only shopping local and supporting, but we save money doing it. So it's a win-win for all of us. But that's A. But B, yes, we have built this over a decade. So we have put this platform together. And like you said, when COVID hit, all of us who have put this together and done this, it's been over $1 million to build this amazing platform where businesses can be listed. You can find them in your local town. You can find online platforms. You can customize your search. You can do all of these amazing things. But then in addition to that, we have a back office for our businesses. So our businesses are able to go into this back office themselves that are completely customized, where they can get information out to the public. They can list their specials. They can list their promotions. There are things that they have that we don't even know about. They can customize that daily, weekly. They can update it. They can do all these amazing things. And then they get to customize messages that we may want to post about them. We want to post about these businesses, but what are they doing this month? Do they have specials? What message do I need to get out? And they're able to customize that so we can access that of what to say about these businesses. I mean, the whole thing is
excellent,
so well organized, so well. When people come in, most people are like, holy cow, we've never seen anything like this, between the front office and the back office and all of these things that have come together. And that's why, honestly, most people come to it and they're like, holy cow, this would cost us literally a couple $1,000s a month to be able to access. And that's not what we do. We donate all of this to be able to have the people and the businesses to be able to use. And everything that we do is to share and support each other. And one other thing I wanted to mention is that our businesses can donate. We call it a sharing program, but they can donate a little bit to be able to support in this journey, to be able to access. Everything's done at cost. This isn't like for us to make a profits or things like that, but we do have a small profit sharing program. And the wonderful thing that we love about this program, this is what really makes me sincerely happy, is that all of our funds go to helping people, the people who are posting or doing those different things. We want to make sure it's done correctly for businesses. There's rules, there's guidelines we have to do. So there's a portion that has to go to that, to making sure that is accurate. But then the other portion goes into sharing. And if a business or anybody that comes on board is doing great financially, we are so excited in this economy because there's not very many people who are. And if they are, then they can choose to donate all of their sharing to their local food banks, because there are so many people who are not doing well right now.
Right.
So we believe as we come together as a people, we can not only fix our social media, the advertising economy, and bring the people. But we can create a platform of sharing to be able to help us survive the storms ahead. But if we're doing okay, then that sharing goes right back to the community and the people who are not doing okay. And so everything about this platform just is wonderful and exciting because it's about the people taking charge of their own lives, making a movement, all of us sharing in these exciting things that we can do to bring our economy. We believe we can build a new economy together, and we can come together as a people to support each other like we've seemed to forgotten how to do. All of us have talked about it for so long, like, let's support local, let's do it. But how many of us have changed anything? And now but people don't know what to do. So we're providing those plans and paths to make it happen.
You've created a framework for people to be able to do that. And I think it's amazing. Talk, if you would, for just a moment. You touched on it briefly, but relative to the economics of things, I know there are different levels of participation, let's say.
Yes.
You have influencers and you have other things. Talk a little bit about how the monies even go back to those consumers who are promoting businesses and helping those businesses.
Yeah, so we call it the best referral program in history. This is basically what we do. So we every business, like I said, come on and is sponsored. So we sponsor each other in this program. So we encourage, again, this is a grassroots movement. So how we do that is all of us can do a little. Nobody has to do everything. I couldn't build a nationwide network. I couldn't build 100 communities this year. I couldn't do that. None of us can do it, but together we can. And so how we do that is that simple grassroots movement where we all come together and do a little bit. So we encourage everybody to refer one business with that sponsored rate, which is just crazy sauce. And so everything, like I said, is donated. So everything is and like I said, half the funds, but then half of the funds go into sharing. So what happens is when you refer a business to the program, it goes into sharing. And we know that in general, the stock market or anything else that's doing crazy things right now, but if there's sharing, instead of going to Netflix or doing something like that, where you are doing a referral and you get $20 for referring somebody to this program or something like that, we actually just ship it into sharing. And so when you do it, you will get a check coming back to you as that network grows. So it encourages all of us to bring people to the program, but not a lot. We want everybody to refer one business because we all know one business we can support. So like I said, we give everybody a pattern of how to do this. And then we encourage them to bring 4 customers to that business for free. There's no charge, but we want to get the message out. And if we don't all share this message, and if we don't have a reason to do that, and then this network, this community that we're building is going to come together and it's going to blossom. And just like investing in the stock market or investing in any business, this is a network. And instead of the profits going back to, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to have our own business and CEOs, I'm going to be honest, I don't even get paid anything other than sharing. And I'm the CEO. And so this is not a organization where I'm going to be making money and we do profits. We know that our lives can change. And my life can change as I help communities. It all comes by all of us helping each other. And instead of investing in the stock market, which goes up and down in every way, why don't we invest in each other? And so all the things that the businesses contribute go back to the people who are supporting them. And the businesses can also join that movement too, and they can find a business. We can do this together as a people. And we can all find a business and we can find 4 new customers for that business. And you can give your friends savings. We can give each other support by posting on social media, and people get paid from the businesses to post for them. And we all come together and we make this huge difference. And the only problem we have in this business are 2 things. One is keeping up with the message that we have and the growth that's happening. The other problem we have is when people come on board, they're like, this seems too good to be true. I can't believe we're all doing this. Oh my gosh, this is so easy. Nobody's doing it just to get something out of it. We're just doing it, and we get all of these amazing things. And so, yeah, people come together, and as that network grows, as that community grows, truly you will be receiving income coming back every month instead of just, oh, here's $20, but because the whole network grows, and we all contributed to that. We all contributed. We get to share back the profits from that network that we're creating, which creates an economy. That's the same way economies work. So when you create an economy, you have consumers, right?
Right.
We have the consumers that are there. They shop at the businesses. That increases the economy so that businesses can increase and grow and make more production. And
Right.
then when they make more production, they're doing better. So they can give employees and do all those things, increase the economy. But instead of that business just doing better, that business then, the money they're doing is going right back to the people. And guess what happens
Back
then?
into the economy.
It goes back into the economy. That's what when they shut us down, that's why the government issued us checks, because they were like, we're going to shut the whole economy down. We've got to supplement it so that cycle doesn't stop. Well, we're continuing that cycle. So the money that the businesses contribute goes right back to the people. So their paychecks are still coming in every month and they can pay back to that same economy. We can all do this as we grow the network. So all the funds we make go right back to the people. And we're growing our own economy. It's amazing.
That is awesome. You know, I have always, or have believed for many years, that entrepreneurs are the backbone of this country.
Amen.
Or of any country. But you've taken it a step further, whereas myself and others have focused on the development of those entrepreneurs. You've actively brought in the consumers into the picture, and made them equal partners moving forward.
Yes, we have, and we have to be. We don't have a choice right now. Before it was like an optional thing. And right now, our economy, we believe, if you watch the news, if anybody watches anything, they understand what's going on, not only in our local economy, but throughout the world.
Right.
And so as I have an amazing thing, we're so excited to announce the fact that our goal is to rescue our economy this year. But then later next year, we're going to reach out and help other people in the world, because it's just not America that needs help. All of us can do this. All of us can come together. And we believe that all of this division that's going on, all of the crazy stuff that's happening right now, changes when we break down these walls, when we start loving and supporting and serving each other. And when we come together as a people and we actually get to know each other and we say, oh my gosh, that person's awesome. They're doing this and I had no idea. And most of us don't. Most of us have no idea how great each other are. And when we start getting to know each other, we start being that change. So
I agree with that completely. That it's that connection, making that connection, getting to know and understand people. As we know them, then we become more compassionate and understanding of the differences, and less judgmental of those differences. Yes, that I absolutely 100% agree with that. Jennifer, if folks want to learn more about the program, where can they go to learn more about the program?
Well, they can go to the amazing platform, which is deluxenetworkprogram.com. So that is the website that we have. So they're welcome to go there. There's information on signing up and doing all of those things, as far as you can receive free information. They can call our offices. We have an 800 number, 888-567-7677, to learn how they can join in this journey and this movement. But in general, just go to the website, ask for free information. You can join any part of this movement for free.
Can I go back and get that phone number from you again, Jennifer? I think I wrote it down wrong. 888-567
7677.
Yeah, I typed it wrong.
So you can contact us. You can do, and just to be perfectly honest, we've had so many people contacting us. You may have to leave messages and things like that, but we are growing so fast. But we will get back to everybody we can, because there's been such an amazing response. We are opening states and cities every day. It's crazy how this is happening, because people know that, you know what, this is easy. And when we ask people to come on board, like you said, there's different ways people can help. Just to really quickly address that, people can just donate an hour total, and they can refer a business and talk to 4 of their friends. An hour, and that's it. And you're kind of done. You don't say, and then guess what? You get it. The only thing to share in the profits is just to refer another business. That's it. Right. It's not like, oh, I have to do this every month, and this is another job, or this is something else. That is not this is a referral program. We refer a few people to the program, and we all receive the benefits. This isn't something we want people to do. We want people to get back to their work and their doing, but we want people to know how to support their local, what to do. But then, like I said, people can volunteer to do these networking events, to be leaders of that and receive free memberships and do different things. You can help in your community if you want to network. You can actually, even if you're not available to post, you can still do the network and share in the profits. But if you're available to be an influencer, we'll pay people a minimal fee and you still are helping and serving to post about our local businesses. And we have amazing people happening. We encourage everybody to do it because everybody needs to get to know each other. We need to get to know our small businesses. So there's amazing ways to do and amazing things everybody can do to help. And anybody can start this in their own community. All it takes is one referral and your community started and that network starts growing.
And folks, I'm such a believer in what she's doing. I have a group, I have a meeting scheduled tonight with members of 3 groups that I have to bring them together to talk about this because I think it's an amazing program and that everybody really needs to know about it. And so, Jennifer, I am so grateful that you came on this morning and shared about this.
So much.
I think it truly has the power to change lives, change communities, and help those who are struggling, whether they be those consumers who maybe need the help of that food bank that some of those funds are going to, or it's that local business owner who needs clients, needs someone to sell his or her services or products to.
Well, and not only that, but that business, our goal is to set up that whole community in 6 weeks. And so that community is set up and turned around in 6 weeks when we come together as a community. And if that community is set up,
amazing,
then those funds go back and they're receiving thousands, those checks to help build their business. We can do this as a people.
Yep. Very good. Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate you taking the time to share this with our audience. Folks, if you have any questions, reach out to Jennifer or myself. If I can't answer the question, I'll pass you right on to Jennifer. I'll probably do that anyway because I'm still asking a lot of questions. I just know that it has a tremendous amount of value for our communities, and that means for our nation, because everything that we do at the community level has a trickle up effect on the nation. And so, and then that has an effect on the world. So this is an opportunity to have more of an impact in the success of our world, not just ourselves and our home, but our communities and on up to our national and international levels. So again, thank you, Jennifer. I'm just thrilled that you and I have connected and that we're able to help you get this message out.
Thank you so much. And just really quick, if anybody wants to email, I see things going across the banner. I just want to make sure people know it's info@deluxenetworkprogram.com if they want a message. So not to do Jennifer because that probably won't get anywhere. But if they do info@deluxenetworkprogram.com, they can email us with any questions they have to.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay. Thank you so much, Regina. It's been wonderful.
Oh, thank you. And it has been wonderful. And folks, we hope you'll join us again next week and have an amazing Thanksgiving this week.
Amen.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Haiti borders with the Dominican.
Her name is Serena Buffalino. They call her Mrs. B, and her class always begins with a pledge.
Something local, something global. Haiti.
They're words that carry
Yes.
weight here. Helping yourself means helping others, giving back, here and a world away in Haiti.
And nobody's helping them, except for people like us.
It was through her the class learned of Haiti, of the nearly 1 million orphans, many with no school, no support, no Mrs. B in their lives.
They could not wrap their head around that.
Mrs. B's students are among Toronto's most at risk. Their challenges vary from emotional and behavioral difficulties to learning disabilities. Their trauma so severe they can't function in a regular school setting, and we aren't allowed to show most of their classmates.
For most of the kids, most of society has turned them away. And in this classroom, they're accepted. They're accepted no matter what for who they are.
Take Yolanda. She came here last year so burdened and withdrawn, she would often fall silent, sometimes for days on end. It was, she says, Mrs. B's patience, her quiet encouragement, that saved her.
She actually saves people's lives from dangers.
And perhaps that's why these marginalized kids feel such a kinship with the orphans of Haiti, and why they were moved to act.
And so when Yolanda and Jackie and Patrick said, well, Miss B, we need to build them a school.
Build a school, no easy task. They started out raising money. They sold samosas, washed cars, screened movies, you name it. And in just a few months, this little class raised $20,000.
Rodney C. Burris is an international speaker, youth advocate, professional development coach and published author who grew up in the inner cities of Baltimore and Jacksonville in the United States. In the USA, Rodney is regarded as one of the nation's top leaders in unlocking human potential and inspiring organizations to greatness. He's delivered speeches all over the globe and is poised to disrupt the status quo in leadership and organizational development. It is my distinct honor to introduce you to Rodney C. Burris.
All right. So first and foremost, thank you for bearing with me. I have been staring at screens for several hours straight and my eyes are starting to get red, right? So I don't really wear glasses. The only thing I have is like sunshades kinda, and this still kind of blocks some of the incoming glare, right? So thank you for being so gracious and allowing me to wear these during our conversation now. Okay. With that being said, we were talking last time about perspective and understanding the other person alongside ourselves that we're in relationship with. Now, every single time we talk, I want it to be clearly understood that when we use the word relationship, we're talking about all types. We're talking about coworkers, right? We're talking about parent to parent. We're talking about romantic partners. We're talking about BFFs. Best friends forever, right? We're talking about classmates. We're talking about people that we are choosing to have an extended relationship with of some sort, rapport. If that's the case, then it's our benefit to understand ourselves in relation to them for the health of our own experience, right? And I say that because sometimes we get caught up in thinking that relationships simply mean if two people are kissing, hugging, squeezing, touching, you know, the baby pet names, and this is going to blossom into some sort of like life romantic partnership, marriage, union of some sort. That's a type of relationship. So is a dad to a daughter. So is a mom to a son. So is a brother and a sister. So are twins, which is a completely different dynamic than just two brothers or just two sisters or just a sister and a bro, vice versa, right? All of these are relationship types, and understanding ourselves, doing, once again, let's do it. Let's do the motion, right? Doing the self-work, do this. Doing the self-work. This is homework. This is the home where we all live, right? And if we do the homework to improve the us that's occupying these things, right? Then we get better and better at our experience. No matter how often your car changes, you're still the same driver within all of those. And whether it's a different vehicle or whether it's the same vehicle, your experience improves as your skill set and awareness and comfortability as a driver improves. We want to be drivers of our experiences here while we're here together, right? As long as the sun is coming up and the sun is going down, we are sharing experience together. And our own experience here greatly improves as we work on the driver that we are, the awareness that we have. I'm not so good when my music is loud. I'm not so good when the radio is completely off and it's completely silent. I need something. I'm not so great driving at night. I actually love driving at night because there's less traffic. But if we don't take the time to do the what work, we'll never uncover that stuff. We'll just get behind the wheel and start whipping. This is how accidents happen. I didn't mean to do it. We know. That's why we are referred to it as an accident. You didn't mean it. It was unintentional. It still has a cost, right? So understanding where the other person is coming from that's in relationship to us by first understanding ourselves is of great value. Yes? So the last time we talked, I actually mentioned that I was going to share 5 tips. You may have heard of these. So let me move this chair. And, every time I talk with us, I always have to do a whole bunch of like bending down. Let me just slide this up. So. How about like that? Okay, that actually makes it a little bit better. Sometimes all of this bending is for the birds. As they say, where did that expression come from? For the birds. Who comes up with this stuff? Okay. How high can I go? How high can I go? This is fine. All right. So there's actually something Now, The 5 Love Languages is a book that was written, and it has come to wide critical acclaim, right? Because a lot of people have found value in it. Now, I'm going to share these, and I want you to view what I'm about to share from the lens of me. Got to get these knees and back together now. Fine. I want you to understand what I'm about to share right here through the lens of perspective. Okay. And if it's easier, because sometimes some of us struggle with the word love. I learned that are the Inuit people, the Eskimos, the native indigenous people of the American like Arctic tundra areas, they actually have something like 7 words for the word that we have, snow. 7 different words, because for them, they're clear, broad, major distinctions between each of them. We, I believe, wear this word out. We abuse it and we don't understand it. We love our football team. We love our favorite desserts. We love our kid, if we have a kid, right? We loved our vacation. So wait, what you had an experience with your kid and what you had an experience on your vacation, that's the same entity? That was the same quality experience? No, of course not. The feeling that you get when you're about to eat your favorite food and the feeling that you get if you love roller coasters, is that the same? Maybe. But you also love your grandma. So what you have for a roller coaster and what you have for your grandma, that's the same. But we use the same word. And then we wonder why we don't understand each other. Well, we abuse the lingo, right? So I wish that we had 7 words. So I'm going to insert for us some synonyms that we're already familiar with. When you think of this word, When we use it in this context, I want you to also think about the word care. What are the 7 languages of care for somebody that we're going to be in relationship with? Here's another one. Appreciation. What are the 5 languages of appreciation? See, now it's different. Now we're looking at this completely differently, right? Okay. So yes, love, but it's the broad sense of love. Some people love recycling. Some people love surfing. Are those the same thing? Okay, of course not. All right, so there's 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, the only problem with numerically numbering these languages is that it can falsely give a sense that they are ranked. Like the 1 is the first one, or the number 5 is the culmination of all, and that's not true, right? That's not what we're trying to say at all. They're just 5 different ones. Like if you had a banana, an orange, a pineapple, a mango, strawberry, grapes, which one is the 1 fruit? Which one is the 4th one? You can't do that, right? You can't do that. So this is the same thing. So I wish that I if I could draw very easily some strawberry, grapes, and bananas and mangoes as the indicators for each of these languages, I would, because I don't like giving them even the sense of any sort of priority or ranking. There's no ranking of these, right? But there are 5 of them that have come to be widely recognized, right? So one of them is quality time. The next one is positive words. The next one is some sort of physical touch. I'm going to talk about these because as I'm writing this, sometimes we go right back into the archaic, old-fashioned, restrictive way of viewing love, and we're missing. If we do that, right, we're doing a disservice to ourselves and to others when we kind of go back into that. The next one is the purchasing. Last but not least. All right, so the name should be pretty straightforward, but just in case, let's just run through it real quick. First and foremost, none of these things says death by poison, right? Excruciating torture, right? None of these things is hit by a car several times. As a human, most of us, the majority of us will like to some degree all of these things, right? But each of us have one of these things that probably stand out, 1 or 2 that stand out more than the others. And the crazy thing about it is for the one of them that stands out the most, that means the most, if we have all 4 of the other ones, but we're missing the one thing, it's almost as if the other person is communicating to us that they don't care about us. Like, if you touch me and you bring me stuff and you want to spend time with me, right? And you always talking my head off about how good I am. But if I just needed some help, you just don't ever. I have to overly ask you. And even when I ask you, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Your words for me are empty. For the people that acts of service are the most. There's some people that you can do for me all day long, and you can spend all the time in the world you want. but I don't ever cross your mind. You can't give me a little, just, you don't put your money where your mouth is. You can talk my head off. You can suck up my oxygen, right? Invade my space and try to put your hands on me, put your leg on me, put your shoulder. Like, I don't actually need you that close. But if you just stopped and got me a card, right? Like, I'm not asking you to pay my bills. This isn't buying and receiving life necessities and utilities. This is the extra. That means so much. I only get a gift from you because it's Christmas, because it's my birthday, because it's Mother's Day, Father's Day. It's the only time. You can keep it. Because everybody's doing it right now. It's Valentine's Day, of course. It's not even materialistic. If 20% of the world views it as important, who are you just because you're in a different 20? You're in a different 20. That makes yours the right way and them the wrong way. There's some people that, let me talk about the physical touch for a second. So I have a son who, when he was a small boy, when he was a very small boy, we used to wrestle all the time, right? Let me adjust myself. Oh, let me get my chair back. So when he was a small boy, we used to play fight and jump and tackle and all this kind of stuff, slam it, and we would watch wrestling, right? Friday Night SmackDown, and sometimes it switched to Thursday, so we're watching Thursday Night SmackDown, and it was just great. And he used to always cry and complain, right? The older he got, 3-4 years old, the older he got, he's just like, Dad, you don't let me win. So then I started letting him win. Dad, you're not trying hard enough. So then I would try harder, and the fight would go for a long hour match, right? And so he just was never happy, right? He just was never happy. And so that was a letdown because I wasn't engaging with him for him to be frustrated. I was trying to have fun, but he was taking it to heart. So I would kind of ease back on it. And then my work started picking up and I was traveling a lot more. Well, I stopped wrestling so much with him, right? It seemed like it was a lose-lose situation. If he won, he was mad because I didn't beat him. I didn't try hard enough to give him a match. If I won, I cheated. You cheated. It was a SH. You cheated. Oh, you keep cheating. So I couldn't win that way, right? And if I just like tired him out, he would express being tired and fatigued with the adjective. So he would go from being super, I'm gonna jump off this, the tag team, to being like worn out, but have that never say never, never say die kind of mentality. And so he's just getting frustrated and agitated. And now he's getting angry. And I'm like, little boy, no, man, this ain't fun, right? So I would ease out of it. And plus my work was picking up. I'm traveling more. I'm doing these kind of talks. I'm in auditoriums and convention centers and, multi-purpose rooms and college classes and classrooms and all sorts of stuff. And so we stopped wrestling. And I remember, guys, he came to me one day, probably like 4 years old. And he said, Dad, why don't you wrestle with me no more? You felt it. You felt it. Because he didn't say actually those words. He said those words, why don't you wrestle with me? But you heard what he actually said. What he conveyed was, why don't you love me anymore? Man, I got you a wrestling toy. Me and you was just sitting down, watching stuff, and we was just sitting on the couch. I love you, boy. You're doing great. Look at the man. You did a great job with the thing. You're so smart. You're strong. Let me see your muscles. If you give me all of the stuff that I didn't ask for, but don't give me what I need, I don't think you care for real about me. You don't love me. I'm not important enough to you for you to do for me, be for me, what I really want, know what I really need. I bring that story up because it touched my heart and it changed my life about understanding myself and my kids, right? But I also expanded it to understanding more of people, interpersonal relationships and dynamics, right? And I needed for us also to understand that physical touch doesn't necessarily mean only romantic sexual intimacy. It could mean scratching your dog, right? If you have a dog, your best friend, scratching those ears more than anything, more than running, more than playing ball, more than feeding them for your dog. That might be the thing. Your dog might not even really want to run a lot. However, your dog may be the one that wants to go out and run and play and doesn't really need a whole bunch of scratches. I'll take them. But I want to go. What do I do? Can I go too? You know your dog says that, right? They have a way of communicating. And just being able to go means the world. Whether you rub my head, though, sometimes they're like, get off me. Let's go do it. So even our best friends, our furry family, right, can communicate to us the same sort of things. This is what care means for me. Now, as leaders growing in our skillfulness and our skill set as leaders, as growing, helping the people that are helping the people, we're remembering our connectivity through the immediate layer into the next folks, the next generation of people, whether that's a generation genetically speaking, like under us, or whether that's the generation, the tier removed, the friend of the friend of the friend, we can have that kind of impact, right? We can, as we work on ourselves and become different and better. It's incumbent upon us, first and foremost, if this is widely accepted, look it up. If you got another device, pull up your other device, type in the 5 love languages. It's everywhere. I think the author's name is Gary Chapman. What test to show assessments? If we don't first know, how do I receive and understand care? If you read these things and you're like, oh, I think that I'm this one, this one, this one, and this one, you're being lazy. Can we just call it what it is? You're being lazy because we've already identified that all peoples everywhere, and yes, I use peoples in the plural, that's also a word. Feel free to look it up if we need to. All peoples everywhere across humanity express and receive care, appreciation, and concern in these ways. That's already been established. So you saying I eat food doesn't let us know what your favorite food is. I like to eat. I eat something. Welcome to the earth. Good job. With that being said, do you want Thai food? Do you want sushi? Do you want lasagna? Right? Do you want apple pie? Are you a pastry kind of person? Do you want the cheeseburger French fry combo? Grits, sausage, bacon, waffles. You see? So of the food that's available, we get it that you eat. We get it that these all things are things that you could appreciate. What's the one, maybe two, that mean the most? If we don't know that, we haven't done the homework, right? We haven't done the self-work. As we figure this out, we get better at communicating to the ones that we're in relationship with, helping them understand our relationship from our perspective. Hey, I know you want to do these things, be these things, say these things for me as your way of expressing love for me, but it actually will mean the most to me if you just told me that I'm doing a good job. Like you just sitting here and not leaving doesn't feel so great all the time. Or let's reverse it. You talk my head off, but every time I say, can we spend can we catch a movie? Can we just sit on the couch? Let's just go for a walk. Can I ride? Can I go with you? It's always no. You never have the time. It's always in the middle of something because you can't loop back around because on your circuit, you got to go here, there. You got this checklist of things to do. So you just stopping and being present with me stops your day so much. All the time, most of the time, you stopping your list of to-dos so that we could just be together. Maybe not even doing a whole bunch of this. Maybe it's just being calm and sharing space, saying a little bit of words, saying a lot of words. We can't do that. Most of the time it's no. I don't believe you care for me. So it's very, very important, one, that we recognize the powerful impact of each of these care languages. Secondly, we need to understand what ours is. And if looking at this, it doesn't just pop out to you because you're like, I think I like them all. Let me tell you how you do it. Go through one of them, feel it, experience it in your own life with a particular somebody or several somebodies. That's really how you know too. If several somebodies, you know, it's consistent that you like this one, this thing, this one or two, then that's you, right? And then say, what if they never really got around to this one? What if they never really got around to that one? What if they never really got around to that one, but they did this? If you know immediately, pardon me, that you wouldn't enjoy that experience, then you know. Then you know. That's not really yours. That's not really your favorite. But when you can instead identify that I like it, I really, that actually means the most to me, you're making progress, you're gaining ground. And then as leaders, we start to think through our immediate relationships at work, in our family, in our household, the people that we talk to online, that we have consistent relationship with, not the hundreds of thousands that we're just like thumbs up and liking and hearting and moving on, but the people that we're in rapport with, right? We have a relationship with, back and forth. For those people, based on my current understanding of them and my current understanding of this model, what possibly is their language of expressing appreciation? And if that's the case, do I express care and concern for them in the way that they best receive it? Because if I express care and appreciation and concern for them in a way that I want to do, but not in a way that they best receive it, what am I doing for the health and the longevity of our relationship? There's a little bit more I could be doing, my part towards the sustainability of us, if that's what I want. Now, if I'm done with it, if I really don't care, if it dies, it dies. If it kind of fades away, it fades away. That's a respectable choice, right? Nobody's forcing us to maintain rapport with people that we actually don't want to maintain it with anymore. But if we know we want to maintain this, then it's our duty to figure this kind of stuff out. And we get a little bit of a pass when we didn't know. I didn't even know there was such thing as 5 love languages, 5 languages of concern and appreciation, 5 care languages. Who talks like that? Why are we not talking about this in 1st grade? Couldn't 6-year-olds with snaggle teeth experience the fact that I really like it when mommy lets me cook with her? I really like it when, now just think, if they're 6 years old, snaggle teeth, 1st grade, and we teach this, reinforce this like we do with reading. We reinforce reading. They read through everything, every chapter, every book, every topic, every subject throughout the entire academic career involves reading. We reinforce that. So by the time they're 16 in the 11th grade, right, here in the United States, by the time they're 16, they got a decade. They got 10 years of processing, metabolizing, working through, making some mistakes, drawing outside of the lines, coming back to. What kind of healthiness are we reproducing at that point? Phenomenal. We're producing year after year, generation after generation of people that are approaching life way healthier than where some of us started. Simply because we're taking these are simple concepts. There's words that we can use together, right? With these that are like synonyms that will work better for a fifth grader than maybe a first grader, maybe a ninth grader, different words than a first grader, but the same themes. So understanding my own, understanding theirs, and then with that knowledge, what the heck am I going to do differently? Understanding my own, understanding theirs, and then with that knowledge, what the heck am I going to do differently? Because simply becoming aware of this doesn't move the needle, right? If we really, really, really want to increase our own quality of life, can we just be selfish? Is there a healthiness in being selfish? I would like to submit that it is from this perspective. If my goal of being healthy is to learn myself so that I can better submit myself, submit means to send in, right? You're filling out something online, you click submit. Some of us struggle with that word because submit means to go under, to go low. A subway is underground, right? It's the way beneath. In fighting, in mixed martial arts, to submit means I give up, you win. So sometimes that word submit is a word that we struggle with, but there's a lot of strength in humility. And me sending in who I am, me opening up myself, me being vulnerable and transparent in our relationship space does not make me a loser unless I view myself as a loser. If I don't have the intestinal fortitude to do the homework of figuring me out and then sharing the me that I now have, and you can't give it to everybody. That's foolish, right? Some people don't want it. No, eat this, eat it. No, here, put it in your mouth. Eat. Get that out of here. Like, I don't want that. So we want to be aware of those sort of things, right? It starts with knowing the self and then using that knowledge to understand the other. And then with that understanding, wisdom, what am I going to do differently? How am I going to apply this? This right here is the value of becoming a different and better leader so that my relationships reflect this shared experience. Leadership is not about getting them to do. You know what you need? You need to learn the love languages. It's not leadership. Leadership at its root means to go with oneself. To go with oneself. I don't have nothing pushing me, driving me. I don't have anybody beckoning me. I got to go to that new place, that new area from some other quality. Leadership. Ship means the quality of. Friendship, quality of being a friend. Relationship, what kind of relationship do we have? What's the quality of how we relate? Leadership is the quality of being a leader. ER is a person who does. Baker is a person who bakes. Driver is a person who drives. Leader is a person who leads. Well, what is lead? Lead is the state, the process, the action of going with oneself. Going with oneself. That's leadership. Leadership ain't, hey, y'all better come on. Follow me. I'll show you the way. It's becoming different and better. And then thereby, we reflect back to each other the growth, the newness that we are. My name is Rodney C. Burris, Burris. You can find me across social media at Rodney C. Burris. LinkedIn, Twitter, Clubhouse, Facebook, Instagram. And my website is rodneycburris.com. Again, BURRIS. If you want to email me and we do this together for your people, there's a way right there on my website to connect. And as a matter of fact, for people that email me through my website, I got a free book. I have books that I've written about these sort of topics, and one of them is actually free. So if you would like that, feel free to let me know when you email me. And if you discover, when you discover the ways that, you know what, Rodney, if you came in, because I've been saying this, though we have this experience, I've been saying this, but if you come in and you say it, if you tell them, then let's do that. It'll be my pleasure. Let's talk about it. Cool? Rodney C. Burris, thank you so much.